Everybody say, thank Allah for Juali.
Thank Allah for Juali.
Islam is. Don't that feel good? Because when you think of where you at, where you was before, oh man, that's why we call him the savior of humanity.
That's right.
Humanity would have been in this degradation had it not been for the Prophet Noble Juali. That's why it's important to do what he say.
That's right.
Don't be questioning Juali and think you got a better idea, a better plan. You don't, and you never will. I know Ebraz Bobe ain't gonna follow you. I'll shun you like an ass. I don't care who you are. If you ain't talking Juali, I don't want to hear it. Get out of my face. And I stand on one leg long enough to let you know that's how much time you got to talk to me. If it ain't Juali, because I'm not hearing it. I'm already programmed Juali-ish.
That's right, Mo.
That's it. If it was such a thing called Jualiite, I would be number one.
I'm number two, Mo.
Or I would stand next to someone who's number one. I'd be somewhere in that line. I'm a Jualiite.
Wow.
That's why Juali said, those of you who was with me when I was in the body of Jesus is with me right now.
That's right.
Is that his body, right or rat? We have to learn to talk the language that our people understand. It's not. But we ain't giving them nothing in the process. Well, you keep telling this man here, Asiatics and European, he doesn't know what you're saying. Just say black and white so he can. I ain't saying nothing. Asiatic and Europeans, that's what they are.
That's right. True.
So now I done got better, you know. I tell them before the conversation begins, you know. I say, listen, I'm going to be talking about Europeans. You call them white, I call them Europeans. I'm going to be talking about us. I call them Asiatics, and I don't know what you call them. So when I say European and Asiatic, I want you to know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about them. Is that clear? Oh yeah, I got it now. Okay, I hope you do. Because I ain't giving up nothing, not one thing. The prophet said you got to stand with him. We can't stand in front of the prophet. We can't stand on the sides of him or up under him. We have to get behind him.
Right.
That's the only way you're going to be. I am not the star of the show, and neither are you.
That's right.
And don't tend to be the star of the show. Because if there is since there is a star of the show, it was, and is, and will always be who?
Juali.
No question about it. It is him who we look forward to. Bill told the prophet one time, he says, prophet, they're not doing what you told all of us to do. The prophet said, all they can do is just die. Now, no one can win over Noble Juali. And if it look like that you enjoying yourself, then you must be under the illusion that the arm of Allah is weak. And he wink his eye at your doing. No, no, no. You're going to get yours. I always say that's the favorite saying of sisters, because some brothers don't do them right. And that's their model. You're going to get yours one day. It's like they put it on you already. Isn't that right? Oh, you're going to get yours one day. And in reality, it's on you, because if you really realize what she's saying in her power, she's putting that on you. And then when you start getting yours, you go, man, she told me I was going to get mine. I'm really getting it. It don't feel good. Yeah, because you did wrong. Islam, wrong don't like wrong. I'm going to read from the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America. I like to read about Jesus. Going nowhere. You swimming in mud. And that's all you're going to ever be doing, because you set yourself up so high you haven't earned it. You know where prestige comes from and merit comes from? It comes from the people. When the people put you in that position, when the people say, this is what we see. You are our equals, and we have agreed to raise you to sovereign power as ruler over ourselves because you have our best interest in mind. Warn to the one who set himself up so high, you haven't married. You can do all you want to do. If you ain't earned it, you ain't going to get it. And then sooner or later, your disguise is going to be stripped off. And who's going to be doing the stripping? The children of sincerity. That's who's going to be doing the stripping. I call your attention This is where I'm gonna come from, right here. Yeah. Yeah. This tasty here. This is page 28. Florence Hill? 28?
28.
Spanish is what we should be learning. ¿Muy habla español, Florence Hill? Muy poquito. Estudio español escuela. Me gusta muy español. I like it. I studied it in school. You know, when you travel around the world, you pick up different languages. I think we got some German in here. Breckenridge Bay speaks, reads, and writes German. And then if you've never heard her speak that, it's amazing to hear that. For me, when I hear different languages, I watch the mouth, and her mouth. I think the language is the accent. Yeah, let's hear what the prophet said. Jesus appears fully materialized before Apollo and the silent brotherhood in Greece. Appears to Claudius and Julian in the Tiber near Rome. Appears to the priests in the Egyptian temple of Heliopolis. Apollo, with the silent brotherhood of Greece, was sitting in the Delphian grove. The oracle had spoken loud and long. The priests were in the sanctuary. As they looked, the oracle became a blaze of light. It seemed to be on fire and all consumed. The priests were filled with fear. They said, a great disaster is to come. Our gods are mad. They have destroyed our home. But when the flames had spent themselves, a man stood on the oracle pedestal and said, Allah speaks to man not by an oracle of wood and gold, but by the voice of man. The gods have spoken to the Greeks and the kindred tongues through image made by man. But Allah, the one, now speaks to man through Jesus, the only Son who was and is. At one time we thought that we'd have to communicate with an oracle. Sticks and woods, statues we made, say that we are communicating with them. The prophet says that they are demons but in disguise, full of jealousy, hate, and lust, and they have no power to sympathize, certainly no power to sin. Out of all the creations in the universe, seen and unseen, known and unknown, Allah has let all life know that man is the only living creature that He has agreed to. So, we need to always remember it's time to go to our meeting area with the Almighty and proclaim Him as the omnipotent entity in all of space, which is the universe. And take counsel with Him in our own mind, in our own heart, and know that all is well. When you are in a position that you think that things are not going the way they should go, and that you've been treated unrighteously, know that tolerance is better than unwarranted position, but know that to address that situation is to address it with your Lord and my Lord, Allah Almighty. Islam? Islam. So Jesus is explaining these things to the people in the Pali language. We were saying that earlier. P-A-L-I. Which it took him 6 years. That was amazing for me to learn. It took him 6 years to learn that language. Because I often thought, well, he's in India. How is he talking and teaching to these people? You have to learn the language. Sister Breckenridge and I were talking early in Sunday school saying that her being a linguistic major of German, me picking up languages from all over the world through my travels, that sometimes you could say a word in another language, but when you try to translate it to English, the meaning changes. You either get lesser or get more powerful, or you don't say it right. what do you call it, the ambience of word. But let's continue. The gods have spoken to the Greeks in kindred tongues through an image made by man. But Allah, the one, now speaks to man through Jesus, the only Son who was and is and evermore will be. This oracle will fail. The living oracle of Allah, the one, will not fail. Apollo knew the man who spoke. He knew it was the Nazarene, who once had taught the wise men in Arcopius, and had rebuked the idol worshippers on the Athenians beach. And in a moment Jesus stood before Apollo, the silent brotherhood, and said, Behold, for I have risen from the dead with gifts from heaven. I bring to you the title of your vast estate. Let's pause there. Many of us who are so-called scholars in the past, and probably even now, look at this particular verse and say our vast estate is land. It's certain parts of the earth. When in reality, the prophet takes it way above that type of meaning or understanding. Our vast estate is the manifest. Because vast means endless. So our vast estate is Pluto, is Mars, it's the moon, it's this galaxy, other galaxy. Our vast estate as Lord of the plane of things made manifest is endless.
That's right.
Don't confine yourself to the planet Earth, because we are not Earth people as much as we are Allah's spirit. And having been the Lord of the plane of things made manifest, what you see is what you run. If I can see the sun, then I'm running. I can see the moon, I'm running. It is my vast estate. It's a manifest. And if it's a manifest, and I'm the God over it, it's mine.
That's right.
So when the prophet, let me turn this off because I forgot to turn this off. When the prophet speaks to us about our vast estate, that's what he's talking about. Don't you know what Il and Bay means? Il and Bay means God. At one time, the two names were together. Baal, B-A-A-L, Baal. It means Lord, God of the plane of soul and of the plane of things made manifest. It's the God-man of today. And we can't limit ourselves because the prophet didn't do Islam. That's tasty. It's juicy. It's wonderful because I didn't say it. I didn't say any of that. The prophet said that. I'm just privileged to read and repeat his words that he already said. You say, would you raise your thoughts to infinite wisdom? Yeah. What's the answer to that question?
Absolutely.
Yes, with confidence. Yes, I will raise my thoughts to infinite wisdom because I'm the God-man of today. Allah is not powerful. Power begins and ends. Allah is beyond power.
Of course.
He is omnipotent. Power, what is that? It's here today and it's gone tomorrow. Allah is not here today and gone tomorrow. He's forever.
That's right.
He's forever. You must think like you forever too. Because he told you that as well in chapter 1. From the everlasting past to the never-ending days to come. So we stand like this. We conduct ourselves like this. We're not in constant need, are we in state? We march and counter-march. That's what we are able to do. The image of Allah. That is pride. So, that is pride. I say again, behold, for I have risen from the dead, with gifts for men. I bring to you the title of your vast estate. And in another mundane sense, that's what we're saying to the world when we proclaim our nationality. I was once dead. Now, I have accepted this gift from Allah through his prophet. Go and those that are dead shall live again. And now I bring to you this information. Because when you have knowledge of who you are alive again. I can remember a time when I didn't know. And I could also remember a time when I did know who I was, what my nationality was, and my divine creed. I do remember after that, some people asking me, well, have you been to Morocco? No, I don't have to go. Have you been to Poland? Have you been to Ireland? No. And don't tell me you have to go there to proclaim your nationality. No. But I am what I am. When I found out that I had the opportunity to get back that part that was lost, I took advantage of it. Well, what was lost there, young man? Knowledge of Allah, my God, knowledge of His and my prophet Noble Jurali, who explained these things to me, who came to redeem me, who gave me the opportunity to sign up. And I signed up. I say I signed up. I signed up. Now I'm fired up. And now I'm fired up. Come on, y'all. I'm fired up. I'm fired up. I'm fired up. All in more science. Oh man, I feel good. Because my prophet has come to me. Don't you think that that's a personal thing? I thought that when I first got the Quran. In my mind, he didn't come to nobody but me. It was a personal thing. In fact, I've told you the story many times. I stumbled upon the Quran and I called my brother, Jody, I got something here, man. Oh man, I know what really happened in Genesis. I just got to read the chapter. He said, I'll be right up. I said, no need to come. You don't need to come at all. Because it ain't for you, it's for me. You stay right where you at. I held that Quran next to my chest like this. I said, I ain't never seen nothing like this. I held it so close to my bosom. And I'm on the phone. He said, I said, no, don't come. Stay where you at, man. You don't need to come in, not at all. And when he finally came, it was weeks later. And I let him read it, but I sat there and watched him. I sat there in the same and watched him. Because I thought, no, honestly, I had prayed and fasted for the religion of my forefathers. I watched him to the point that if it looked like he was going to try to abscond my Quran, I was ready to defend it. This is for me. I know I'm not the only one who feel like this is for me. I mean, it's not that I shun everybody else off, man. This is for me. This is my demonstration. This is all for me. Remember when you were a child and you had candy and your friends watching you get candy at the store? Up here in Chicago, we say, "Cobs up." Remember that, sister? Cobs up. But if you didn't want to give none, when you came out the store, you said, "All righty, cobs down." That means no ask me. And then they ask you, "Man, didn't you hear me say cobs down?" Oh, I thought you may have changed your mind, give me a swig or something. No, cobs down. So I felt like that about the Quran, more science. Don't ask me. This is what I asked for. This is my demonstration. And it's a good thing. Because it helps many of us in that way. To accept not something new. Because the prophet said this is nothing new. But to accept something that my heart, mind, body, soul, and spirit could relate to. From the everlasting past to the never-ending days to come. I can relate to it. I can feel it. Now you can feel it. Sometimes when you hear the jam on the radio, you say, turn that up so I can feel it. That's what more science is. You turn that up so I can really feel that. Because it feels good. I like it like that. I'm getting a drawing. You know, many of us, I'm going to say this, then I'm going to keep reading. Many of us have found ourselves in a room that was so dark you couldn't tell if light was going to ever come in. And all you can say is, woe is me. Right. Same like our forefathers. Oh, Lord, have mercy on my soul.
That's right, Mo.
Oh, help me, please. Well, I've been like that, like you, many times, and probably gonna be it again. But then I looked closer in that dark room, and I saw a flicker of the flame. And that was hope called Noble Duality. That was mercy called Noble Duality. See, the prophet was sent to us as a mercy. Because we was a stiff-necked, hard-headed people. He is a mercy to us. Like how we look at sorrow, says sorrow was given to thee as what?
A blessing.
As a mercy. Because if you wasn't sorrow, look how cold you would be. When that flicker of the flame come into the room, man, I could have changed my name at that very second to Mr. Happy. Mr. Overjoyed. Mr. Do the right thing. In fact, it wouldn't be a bad idea for all of us to get our name changed to Mr. and Mrs. Happy. Do the right thing according to Prophet Noble Duality Bay. You know it. He said, all power in heaven and earth is mine. To you I give all power in heaven and earth. Go forth and teach the nations of the earth the gospel of the resurrection of the dead, the eternal life through Jesus, the love of Allah made manifest to men. And then he clasped Apollo's hand and said, my human flesh was changed to higher form by love divine, and I can manifest in will or in higher planes of life at will. I can manifest in flesh or in the higher planes of life at will. And what I can do, all men can do. Go and teach the gospel of the omnipotence of men. Then Jesus disappeared. But Greece and Crete and all the nations heard Claudius and Julia, his wife. Then Jesus disappeared. Let me slow down. But Greece and Crete and all the nations heard. Right? Claudius and Juliet, his wife, lived on the Palatine in Rome. And they were servants of Tiberius, and they had been to Galilee. It's like when the prophet said, extend the learning in the truth. So we are to extend the learning in the truth of the great prophet. That's what we're doing. And we do that as Moorish Americans just by, actually, it's not so much that we say it with our mouth. We don't do that through an entity called Royal Council. And that's a thing that many Moors across the country got confused because they want to start their own thing. There is no legal structure in the Moorish Science Temple of America called the Royal Council. Islam?
Islam.
This is not what the prophet said. If you have a Royal Council, then you don't need a Supreme Grand Council. Islam?
That's right.
Or you're trying to bypass the Grand Council or the Grand Body to do your own thing. Well, guess what? You're going to get yours. One day, we may not be able to see it. You know, Hitler's still on the plane of soul. The prophet said, you must tarry on the plane of soul many years until you defeat all these foes. Islam?
Islam.
He must have had a lot of foes to still be stuck on the plane of soul. You don't want to be on the plane of soul forever. Man, I'm going to get off of this block. You know, you got to brighten your aura. You got to brighten your spirit. Then you can get off of it. He said, unnumbered foes will be with you on the plane of soul. Because of what you did and you knew better. Holy Quran and Mecca say, oh, you Muslims who did different things and you know you shouldn't have done. He said, death is too good for you, but torture is your answer. You're going to be standing over the hellfire. It's going to be burning the bottom of your feet, and the agony and the pain is going to be so big. Just take me, consume me, fire. Keep that fire on the bottom of your feet. The prophet said you will be rewarded for what?
The good deeds that you show in the
Good deeds
flesh.
you sow in the flesh. Don't think it's all over. See, that's the problem with those people who follow after the gods of Europeans. Their gods was to manifest. They talk nothing about heaven. They talk nothing about none of that. right now. If it's a manifest, that's it. We don't need to talk about having nothing like that. I'm living rich, I'm conquering everybody, I'm going to and from earth seeking who I can devour. That's all we need. If you look for that, then you look for it for nothing. There's something greater. The kingdom of heaven is a state of mind. And that state of mind is what we can have and demonstrate right here and now. So my brother bought him a case of some fine liquor. So when my father passed, Ronnie said, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna get that case because I know he didn't drink all of them bottles. He wasn't around there long enough to drink all that." And when Ronnie opened up Daddy's box of that liquor, my daddy had drinking out of each bottle. Yeah, he did. And every time Ronnie opened it, he said, "This been open." Open up. "This been open. This been." He took a swig out of all of them. And if I could hear him now, he was saying, "Nah, I had my fun." You think I'm gonna let you draw on my goodness? Let's continue. And then he clasped Apollo's hand and said, "My human flesh was changed to a higher form by love divine, and I can manifest in flesh or in the higher planes of life at will." That's true. You know, will is the last attribute of the soul. Thinking, how's it, Rodney?
Thinking, understanding, reasoning, will.
Thinking, understanding.
Thinking, reasoning, understanding.
Thinking, reasoning, Willie. No, Willie is the last one. Who said that? Who? Who didn't say who that was? Willie. Man's will is will supreme. Will, we have just touched at least 1/10 of will. When we exercise our will, it's beyond our expectations. I just figured out my brother is changed form September 8th, last year. Y'all remember, some of you were here, because we had his funeral, we stopped doing the funeral. My brother, he passed colon cancer. I was thinking how when I went to the nursing home, and I'll share this with you, and I went there early Sunday, I missed something to go sit with my brother. And he was saying, "Pull me out the bed." I said, "Donald, I can't pull you out the bed, but I'll try." I tried to pull you out. It was like a big piece of lead. I said, "Okay." So I went back to the temple, it was over, just to hobnob with the Moors. And later on that night, they said, "Your brother done passed." I said, "Oh man, let me come back out there, which is a distance from here." So I get back out there, and they take the pillows from, you know how they had the pillows behind the patient's back so they could be sitting up. And they took the pillows from down here, he was sitting straight as a board. You know, it's a name for this called rigor mortis, right? My brother